There were some rather dramatic scenes on Saturday night during ITV's Evening with Elton John and Brandi Carlile, as Elton was shown back in the recording studio for the first time in years.
I was irritable, nightmare, angry,
Beautiful.
I just lost it. Being emotional on the record, whether it's being angry or crying, I haven't been that for years and years and years. Sorry.
What are you sorry about? It's a real emotion.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's nice they all gave him a cuddle.
Yeah.
How do you express your emotions, Denise?
Well, as regards anger, I try not to take it out on other... I'm not saying that Elton was. He's clearly very, very emotional. But I think that there are some people who, if they are angry about something, will kind of take it out on you. I don't do that. I'm very emotional in that I do cry a lot. I can't keep my emotions in.
What makes you cry?
Pretty much everything. Even adverts on the television. I'm just, what are you looking at? Janet makes me cry a lot.
I told Janet.
Yeah, she does. She's not, though.
Oh, no.
But is there a particular trigger? So I know you say you're watching an advert, but is it an advert about something in particular?
Yeah,
or...
I get very emotional about the world,
Right.
and I try to channel that into doing things that I can do something about. You know, we can't change the world, but I just think that there is a malaise across the world at the moment because of social media. We're all so anxious. We know too much. Our brains aren't conditioned to keep it all in. And I get very upset about the state of things. But I usually, if I'm going to have a proper sob, I will usually take myself off to my room and have a proper sob. My kids make me emotional. I worry about them all the time. I've become a helicopter mom in my older days, so I panic and get anxious about that. But I just try and not take it out on
So when did you last cry?
This morning.
Really?
Oh.
Oh.
Because I wasn't going to Thomas Tank World with my grandson, and I was
So it's a cry of relief.
He sent me, he sent me a message and he says, he's just started to talk properly and it's just pathetic, but I mean, he just said, Nana, Nana. He thought I was in the phone and it just made me go in my dressing room.
So, I mean, it's there for, biologically, I assume, for a reason of release, isn't it, crying? And I'm not a crier at all. I really...
When did you last cry?
I can't remember the last time I cried. No, I think I show sort of stress or upset in other ways. I do a lot of teeth clenching, I've discovered. I have, not grinding, but clenching. I suddenly get this really sort of like, I wake up with a really aching jaw and it's because I've been clenching my teeth.
You want to be careful. Grinding is next, and then the teeth start popping out right, left and centre.
Lots to look forward to.
Grim experience, I'd like to say.
Oh, crikey. Janet, are you a crier?
I do cry. I don't cry on television, no.
No, but what makes you cry? And do you cry alone or do you cry...
I could see why Elton was crying then. He's been through a very, very difficult time. He's had issues with his eyesight. He's had a hip replacement, knee replacement. I've spoken to him on the phone and he's been very, very emotional. I think with this, the emotion and the rage is about, because he's a perfectionist, he wants the record to be amazingly good. He really rates Brandi Carlile. I can understand where it's all coming from. He doesn't want to let her down, and I understand that exactly. And there's a kind of lot of that in me too, that if I start on something, I want it to be really good. And if it's not going to be really good, I don't really want to do it.
Right. There's no guarantees in life, though, is there? You don't know if something's going to be good before you start.
Unfortunately. No, seriously.
But what makes you cry? Is there a situation? Is there a common theme?
No. I'm very, very attached to my friends and... very, very attached to my friends. I'm very attached to where I live and where I am. I feel that if I'm walking, I'm very you know, involved with nature or whatever. I mean...
Can you control your anger, though, if you get angry about something?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I don't know, I think my father had a terrible temper and he took it out on us and we saw it all in front of us because he had really bad rows with my mother. And I've got that. I mean, a lot of things can wind me up, but then I forget about it 2 minutes later. So it's not like a real anger.
No. And who is like the anger at? Anger. You? Is it at your... Because I sometimes think...
Chair. Oh, yeah. OK. Right.
I look at Elton and it looks like the anger's at himself.
Oh, the anger is at himself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The anger's at himself. And also, you know, we remember that film Tantrums and Tiaras where he was a very shouty, screamy, tantrumy person. That was back in the day. That was 20-something years ago. He's not like that now. He's a dad. He wants to set his kids a good example. And, you know, he's matured. People might laugh at the idea of someone finally maturing in their 70s, but he is a mature, fully rounded...
Have you matured?
No, I'm still stuck, unfortunately, in the irritating teenager stage. But I'm working on it.
Oh, good. Well, Mariella, what about you? Do you express your emotions?
I do. I think I live everything on that level. It all comes out, whatever it is, tears, happiness, anger, you know, sorrow, regret, it's all sort of there. But I do think, I mean, I don't know, because actually the grinding of the teeth would suggest otherwise, but I do think that out is better than in. And I think that there's a huge expectation these days for people to sort of lead, you know, filtered lives, you know, that sort of Instagram thing we were talking about earlier. And actually there are some emotions that are acceptable and palatable and others that aren't, whereas actually we're just human beings. And, you know, I mean, it's interesting, that clip with Elton, because you know, that could be seen through lots of different prisms. You could think that's a pop star having a tantrum, but at the moment, we're seeing it in a different view, whereas 20 years ago, you know, we called it tantrums and him being... So I just think, you know, it's a lot about public perception and how things get presented to us. I think, frankly, he should have his hormones checked, because he looks like a menopausal woman to me in that clip.
When did you last cry?
I cry quite often, but, like, for, you know, really, you know, stereotypical things, you know, parents losing a child in a movie or a child losing a parent or, you know, I cry when, you know, you see that terrible picture of the little boy on that beach in Greece. You know, there's just so much, like, suffering in the world. Don't start me off. That I do feel, you know, those sorts of moments get
I should say, actually, having said I don't cry, what I meant was I don't cry in... to do with things in my own life, but I do cry at certain films.
Films.
Yeah, there's certain types of film that I'll watch and it sets me off, and then my kids put all the lights on and go, "Are you crying?" It's just like, thanks for that.